want to post this for the very last time, since it seems that the timeline is gone, nobody knows what's going on, and I just still can't be freed from being trafficked between Kyle Markham, his mother, Beth Peters, his sister Ashley Peters, and Chuck Peters, then his neighbors, and his uncle Tony, and his wife Shanda. Okay? They trafficked me. Kyle Markham raped me, choked me to death. And his mother and him and the family are in a cult. They sacrifice animals. And they have a laboratory underneath their home, in the tunnels underground, underneath their home. That's the first house that I was being trafficked to. Okay? Then my mother's home, Christine Womble and Stanley Womble. Somehow, Christopher Austin was supposed to be in prison, but was in a bunker underneath the house. Okay, she was taking him to and from the prison. All the while, they're accusing me of stealing my Adderall. I couldn't take the Adderall at my mom's. I had it in my car. They were taking it out of my car. They were putting sugar in it. They're, I believe, taking it back into the prison. My brother let me know he was there by messing with the lights. Stephen Rutherford, sir, was also there. This guy is the guy that offered me to come out to Indiana, told me I was in danger by my family, and when I came back from Indiana, because I didn't know who this person was, I went to his house during Final Four. Okay, Krista Cross reached out to me while I was there. I also reached out to Drea and said, hey, do you know this person? Krista Cross was the last person that I talked to before I died. I told her I was going to die, as well as Drea. I talked to Ashley Miller. I talked to Lauren Haygood. And I told Krista that I'd called the FBI, I'd called all these people, and that nobody helped me. If I go back to this house, they know that I know what I know, and they're going to kill me. And she said, I can't help you. Send me back. They got me sick. Him and his mother, Kyle Markham and Beth Peters, just somehow got out of work for 2 weeks. He got expelled, and she just somehow, something happened. They got out of work for 2 weeks. It got me extremely sick for two weeks through intentional food poisoning, drugging me, poisoning me through WD-40, bleach, they even murdered a couple cats and ground that up and put that in my food. Jambalaya specifically, that was their favorite. Didn't tell me about it. It made me extremely sick. And then I got so sick that I was like, I'm gonna die from body exhaustion, because I was just lethargic. And when I closed my eyes, I was accepted my fate that I was going to die. And I was like, well, nobody will come and help me. I told Drea, I told everybody, and nobody would help. So I closed my eyes, and the next thing I know, I woke up to him raping me, and he was choking me to death. And when I woke up, I was like drugged like heroin, I believe, because I never have experienced a high like this. So when I came to and realized that I was drugged and that I was like being raped and choked, the next thing is like, oh, it's like he's squeezing me tighter, and then I was like losing consciousness. The next thing is that I came out of my body, and then I saw myself laying flat on my stomach on the fucking bed, and then I realized that was me, and then I woke up in my body. And when I woke up, him and his mother were standing at the foot of my bed, and they were reading paper. And they had a trash bag next to him, and they had the light on. Mind you, the last thing I know, I went to sleep because I was sick, so they left me in the room by myself, right? They left me in my room by myself. We shared a room, me and him. They left me in a room by myself, which they planned this. They had 2 other rooms that they could have put me in, but they put me in one with him. So anyways, when I woke up, they were cleaning the room with the light on while I was sleeping. So I was like, how long has it been? They both were like, and they said 2 days. And I woke up and I was like disoriented. I was still drugged, so I showered so I could wake up, because I had been being drugged so much. Got my stuff, went back to my mom's. For the rest of my mom's, that was around October and November. For the rest of my mom's, from November to February of 2024, I was coming to, but they were still sedating me through the vents, and they were coming into my room in the middle of the night, and there was a lot going on. My brother and Stephen were hiding underground, and whom I believe to be Drea, that was hiding in the attic, which I saw Drea as soon as I left Kyle's house, I went to my mom's because I had nowhere to go. I was being followed by the cartel. I was being followed by the Masons. I was being followed by people from all over the state in my vehicle. So I went back to my mother's house because I was scared to get in my car. So when I went back to my mother's house, I didn't want to go back there because they had already raped me there and illegally operated on me right before Kyle killed me. So I tried to get my dad's attention. Actually, before I died, I also saw my dad and Lynn. And I told my dad, Sydney, my sister Sydney, came to pick me up to get a rape kit. And she left me there. She left me there because she knew that I wasn't lying. She knew what was going on. And she's the one that kind of told me, because I was like, they're putting me to sleep through the vents somehow. I don't know how they're doing it. And she was like, oh, it's probably chloroform. And I was like, how do you know this stuff? You know what I'm saying? She was like, oh, my husband is an EMT. She was like, oh. And she was like, and I've watched a lot of murder shows. And I was like, oh, okay. So anyways, I never heard from her again. That was 2 years. I haven't talked to her since then. Okay. So she left me. So I was so afraid to stay at my mom's after they just raped me and put whatever they put in my butt, parasites and whatever they did, that I went back to his house because they were putting me to sleep through the vents. He was drugging me through my drinks. They were putting me to sleep through the vents. He didn't have AC. They only had AC units. So the way that they were putting me to sleep, I would literally be writing in my notebook and then I would be like, oh, I'm getting boom, like, and I'd be out. And it would be the next day that I would be 12 hours that I would sleep. And then I would wake up and I would be coming to throughout the day. Like, it's like they would be, I would go, the only time I started remembering is when I went to go work and I was gone from 10 to 10 when they started doing what they were doing. And so pieces started coming back to me. But before, if I stayed at the house, they just kept drugging me and poisoning me. So I was like so disoriented trying to figure it out. And I would get bits and pieces. And then as soon as I would get close, it's like I'd be drugged again. So I went and started doing Instacart. So from October to February, I was working, putting the pieces together. I had Debbie and Danny next door, and I had Trish and John, and they were all in on it, as well as Drea, I believe, in the attic, because I saw her, okay, in a black SUV Rogue. Then Steven and my brother, Christopher, were underground. Christopher, I don't know how long he was there. I don't think he was there the entire time, but he was there in and out. I know that they built the bunkers because they built the pool and they left it unfinished. And I could hear a shower that was underneath the house that they had built somehow. So I know that they built a bunker for this to go down. Cooper Cagle also was there at some point because he was brought over by Josh Cinnamon and by Holly Lenz. And they brought him on the back of a trailer because he was on house arrest. I heard this because he told me through synthetic telepathy. Plus I heard them underground. Okay, while I'm in my room. They were also shocking me with direct energy weapons. Danny and them had direct energy weapons. Even when I would stay in my car in my driveway because they were raping me, I would stay in my car in the driveway and they were also attacking me with direct energy weapons. Okay, so when I finally put two and two together, right? Because at first I thought my mom raped me. But then I thought they just raped me in the ass. I specifically heard Stan the day that I went to go get a rape kit, the morning that Sydney came to pick me up. Stan told my mom she's going to get a rape kit. And then they went and threw evidence away and started running around the house. Okay. There should be reportings where I've called to get a rape kit. I called the rape hotline. I didn't call the police because they were working with the sheriff's county of Newton County, along with Manchester, along with fucking Butts County. So I didn't call them, and they stood. Cooper was specifically chauffeured from one of the fucking sheriffs, or Christopher, one or the other. So I didn't call them because they were all in on it. Okay. Plus I was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. So now I'm not Andrea. So quit saying that. I want to post this.